All right, everybody, here we are at CES at Thermaltake, and I have to give them some massive credit. Yes, they are one of our sponsors for the show. I have to thank all of our sponsors right away. Without them, coming here would not have been possible at all. But to Thermaltake's credit, they have kitted us out. Yes, we have our own lighting, but they have hooked us up with some of the best lighting we've actually ever seen on the show floor. So thank you very much for that. This video is actually going to be all about their air cooling and water cooling products. On the flip side of that coin, Dimitri is going to be taking care of all these cool new cases that we found here, so you can check out that video when we post it up. Anyways, the first thing I wanted to talk about is their new AIO. And like a lot of other manufacturers, they are going full 420 millimeters. We're going to see a lot of this going forward because of those hot running high-end chips from AMD and Intel. There's just no avoiding this trend. So anyways, this is the ToughAir Ultra 420, and the Ultra series is going to be priced at around $250. It's not cheap, but you get the best of what Thermaltake has to offer. So 140 millimeter ToughAir fans, ARGB, along with an LCD screen on the pump head. But everything here has been upgraded over their previous designs except the pump itself. What they're saying is that this setup here is more than enough to keep a 13900K from throttling. I mean, we're gonna have to see that in reality, but with this kind of size, I would not pass it by them. But anyways, guys, you know me, I'm all about those air coolers. If an air cooler can keep your CPU just as cool, if not cooler, than an AIO, that gets me excited. So anyways, this is the ToughAir 710, the latest addition to Thermaltake's higher end air cooler lineup. And what they are claiming is that this is a D15 competitor. I'm not 100% sure about it. We're gonna have to test that out, but it's got a lot going for it. First of all, there are two 140 millimeter high static pressure fans on this thing, as well as, of course, your massive dual towers there. What you're seeing here, though, is that they are a little bit thin, but that is mostly for RAM compatibility. Performance, on the other hand, this is supposed to be one of the best coolers around. Again, this is what Thermaltake is claiming. We're just gonna have to see if that is 100% confirmable. Anyways, I'm gonna go a little bit further down the line and introduce you guys to a couple of fans that they're introducing, and some of them are actually really, really unique. All right, so let's talk about fans. You know, I'm a fan for fans. I've done a ton of videos about them, but I just want to introduce you to what Thermaltake calls their SWA fan. And yes, I understand you might have heard this, but this is a little bit of a refresher. So what a SWA fan is that you simply push the fan blades and the entire thing comes apart. Basically, you have your frame and you've got your fan itself. The reason they want you to do this is you can either have forward-facing airflow or reverse airflow without anything getting in the way of your RGB. That is what a SWA fan is, and let's talk about how this range is expanding with some pretty interesting stuff. So first of all, the SWA fan is coming to the GT series. So basically what that means is the high static pressure, high airflow, high-end fans from Thermaltake are getting that SWA fan treatment. So in each one of these, in a 120 millimeter version and a 140 millimeter version, you're gonna get multiple different types of fan blades. So basically in each package, you're going to be getting 3 separate fan blades. First of all, there's a high static pressure fan blade, there is a forwards airflow fan blade, and there's a reverse airflow fan blade. So anyways, that is the GT. Moving on to the EX, and this is the one that I want to know your opinion about, because I sort of like call this the fan for people who might be a little bit more on the beginner side, because it is sort of DIY, but at the same time, it is so straightforward. So basically what you have is you have 2 fans, and they can magnetically clip together. There you go, magnetically clip together, and they completely pass PWM signals and the ARGB signals from one to another for a maximum of 3. The other thing here is that you're not gonna see any fan cord, and that is because that is, guess what? Also magnetic. Look at that. To me, this is really cool, but I don't know if it's actually necessary, because regardless of what you do with these, you're always going to be, hopefully, mounting them to either a radiator or a case, or using clips to put them on a heatsink. Now, the last item that I wanted to sort of talk about here is a little bit more of a minor thing, and that is the CT series, but it is actually important for anybody who appreciates good fans that are included with your case, because the CT series is basically their entry-level fan that's going to be included with all of their cases going forward, but it's been bumped up. It's been bumped up in the case of airflow and static pressure to be a lot better than what it was. So basically those boxed fans that everybody ends up discarding, this one you actually might want to keep. The last thing I wanted to talk about is to take a little bit of a detour and talk about some ITX power supplies, because I'm a fan of the ITX market too. These are really going to the next level. So this is your small SFX power supply, 850 watts with a 12-volt high power connector for those super power hungry GPUs. I mean, look at this thing. It can literally fit into, well, my pants aren't that big. It could fit into Eber's back pocket, who's behind the camera. And then there's another step up from that, 80 plus platinum SFX L 1000 watt. Personally, this is something that I would probably want to start looking at for anybody who has one of those higher wattage GPUs within your ITX system, because it has that native 12 volt high power connector. So anyways, look, that is that quick run through of a bunch of cooling and power supply items. And here's Dimitri at Thermaltake. He's done his part. So you're probably going to see his video first.
That's
anyways,
right.
We are Hardware Canucks from Thermaltake. We got Dimitri, we got Mike, we've got Eber behind the camera, and we've got Robert, our new guy, behind the other camera. So we are going to see you in the next one.
Ciao.
Take care, guys.